Hey guys, it's Monica with Mystic Maiden Oracle. We're doing a reading for this week. It'll be for the Taurus new moon energy, which is getting us ready for the eclipse on May 26th. So usually new moons, well, they're all about fresh starts and stuff, but a lot of times we feel really active. But this new moon is calling us to reflect and retreat. So any energy, that we're getting, instead of starting new projects and, creating, like trying to manifest, we'll still keep dreaming, like we talked about in the last reading, and working on manifestation, but not so much on taking action. There was feminine energy in the last reading, and that's still a theme because we have, Venus being Taurus's ruling planet. So that's feminine energy also. So eclipses, kind of are a jump in onto another frequency. I don't know how else to describe it. I feel like there's like a lot of video game images, like in Mario, where what is it? Is it the star where you go really, really fast in Mario Kart? Anyway, kind of like that. And so anyway, so they were talking about self-care, they being spirit, the powers that be. Anyway, yeah, so self-care and preparing for the eclipse energy, because the eclipse energy is going to be more like where we start taking more action. So with where we're at, so Taurus is an earth sign too. So since self-care is coming up, we're going to want to work on our grounding, making sure that we're staying, not just connected to the earth, like actual, touching the ground and stuff, but are we in our bodies? Are we drinking enough water? Are we listening to our inner voice? Our heart-centered our inner voice, not our ego center. Center, Jesus, it's not coming out right. Our inner voice. So, and not the opinion of others. That was the other part too. So anyway, we're going to get into the reading. We're going to ask first what needs to be reflected on, because remember the theme of this new moon is self-care and reflection and retreat. So what should we be reflecting on at this time? Let's start there. Oh, Ace of Scepters. We got that one last time. So that's fitting because Ace is the card for beginnings and creation. And so, and the crown. So the crown chakra, right? And we're talking about our inner knowing, not ego knowing or the outside opinions of others. So what we feel in our soul. So that is super fitting for a beginning card. So red too is, I know it says crown, but the root chakra. So grounding is there too. Just like we were talking about with Taurus being an earth sign. Feminine energy in that card too with the flowers. That, boys can't like flowers. That's not what we're saying. Just when I talk about feminine, excuse me, and masculine energy, it's just polarities, not gender. All right, let's get another card. Justice. Oh my God, that's so cool. So remember, we're talking about Pluto retrograde a couple weeks ago, I think. And that was about, it's still going on because it's going on until October. So that was a lot of destruction energy. And that's so cool. And it was not just on like our personal level where we have to do our work, but it was on a global level, a societal level. So government, and what we do in our communities and what we accept and what's tolerated and what we should not accept and not tolerate, and what systems need to be broken down and rebuilt, so that they are serving the highest good for everybody. So that's super awesome. and every time we're talking about what we need to be reflected on, it it's not just relationships and us, like it's everything. But Pluto's energy is emotional bonds and old habits, right? Um, so it's not just, even though it is global and stuff, um, like justice for yourself in, and actually I'm hearing you just shut up, that'll come in the next part of the reading. So anyway, we'll draw another card. Because yeah, that's, I think that says plenty. There we go. The Tower. Oh my God, look at all these cards. Super powerful. Okay, so the Tower, super awesome card for destruction and tumbling down and things, crumbling. It's pretty much what we were just talking about right here, is the justice. So, you might be a little emotionally attached to the things that are going on in the world right now, and that's fantastic. So that's what this, see, they told me to shut up because there was more coming, and this one would explain that. So it makes way more sense. Things that are affecting us are not just our relationships and our families and our work life. There's things, everything that's on the news, I don't watch it because I can't handle it, and it's not because I don't want to know I don't really want to know what's going on in the world, but it's not because I think ignorance is bliss. It's just, it's emotionally draining, and it doesn't help me to watch it. I'd rather be trying to do things about it, and and yeah, be part of the action part of it, but it's not time for that yet. And so the way we can do our part little by little, since we can't just run out and wave our magic wands and change the world, is changing the beliefs inside ourselves. So being the change you wish to see in the world, right? I love that. I love it so much, it's tattooed on me. So that's the thing, like we have to break down our old habits within, our old emotional bonds with our beliefs and our belief systems, and you know um rules that we thought were in place, or rules that are in place that we don't agree with. um there's kind of a rebellious energy I kind of feel in this card too. um Even kind of the feminine energy, that's what we were just talking about with Venus. And so so there's justice, that's what so the thing we're supposed to be reflecting on is what we need to break down within ourselves, to free ourselves, to give ourselves the justice that we need. And so when we do that within, it is so without. So um breaking down of social constructs is something that is going to take time because they were built over time, and some have been around for way longer than others. So um how can you do that? Well, there's a variety of ways I'm hearing, and the biggest one is going to be to trust your inner compass. So if you're hearing something that you don't agree with, you don't have to argue about it, but you don't have to go along with it either, just to appease people or to try and keep the peace. It is okay to have your own opinion. Remember, we're not going with the opinions of others. It doesn't mean we have to debate everything. We can walk away from a conversation. We can say that we do not want to participate in a conversation. It doesn't have to be aggressive. You can just respectfully decline and say, you know what, I don't really like having these kinds of talks, and so let's not. And then if it persists, you can always just walk away. um how that person chooses to deal with it is on them, because you don't have to sit there and have your energy drained, or give away any of your energy when you don't want to. Because when you give away your energy, you are giving away your power, your essence, and all that is very valuable. And so that's what we're talking about right now, which will lead us into our next question, which is, how should self-care be practiced during our retreat for optimum healing? So this is how we're going to break down the tower, where after we break it down, we're going to need lots of healing. There's blood on the sword. with Lady Justice here, which, like we've talked about in almost every reading so far, I think, is that nobody gets out of here without a scratch, you know? So even though she seems pretty much unscathed, somebody was not. And I do believe that that is, you know, in this instance, I'm going to say karma, justice, karma, and they're kind of one and the same to me. So, and I'm also getting a big message too to let go and let spirit take care of it. And to have faith, you know, to sit there and when you're in your meditations, retreating, figuring out, you know, how you would need or want to reconstruct, you know, your dream world within yourself. You'll see what needs to be destructed, to be killed, essentially. Because remember, Pluto has rules death as well. So, anyways, moving on. How should self-care be practiced, right? So we'll do angel therapy to see what else we can do other than grounding and resting and the obvious stuff. Base chakra, remember I said root chakra in that one too. So choose only positive thoughts to describe your home, career, finances, as your words determine your outcome. So we just said that, right? Spirit just said all these areas and then outward, and destructing it in your meditation, figuring out what needs to be, what you want to be. And I know in the other readings too before, I know, actually, I think it was the last one where they were saying the sky's the limit, you know, so don't limit yourself on what kind of a world you want to create, and take advantage of how much the energy in the universe is supporting, creating the life of your dreams right now. Not that it isn't always, it's just, we're actually really lucky to be in the time that we're in, right? Positive thoughts. Ooh, there's our 2 right there. Oh, I was going to use my Ascended Masters deck today too. But okay, maybe next time. But look at that, all the support that we have. Everybody is there from all over. It's not just, you know, one religion. And so, you know, we hear a lot, we're in this together, right? So we can use all the support that's being offered right now. Powerful, loving, and wise spiritual teachers are watching over and guiding you. So remember justice too, and letting go. That's what Spirit just said too. For all of this, you know, especially like they were saying, if you're highly affected by the news and like you can't stand it and it makes you sick, like it does to me, you don't watch it, and instead put your energy and your focus into praying to your ascended masters, your spirit guides, and excuse me, not just asking them for help, but commanding it, you know, letting them know that you're serious about it and you really want to change whatever it is, whether it be home, career, finances, whatever. But, you know, don't limit yourself, and don't think that any request is too big or too small. Um, the bigger the better is what I just heard. So then the other card that fell out was visualize success, which is super perfect. Don't really think I need to elaborate on this too much because I feel like I'm repeating myself. So I kind of would just advise you to rewind. See yourself doing well in this situation and have faith in a positive outcome. Yeah. All right. So then our last question for Spirit is, what potential growth is on the horizon? So remember, we have free will and the power of choice, or freedom of choice. So things change, and nothing, this isn't, you know, a premonition. It's just to help us, you know, keep our thoughts positive, kind of like keeping our eye on the prize. So decisions. We already talked about decisions with the Tower cards. So you can look forward to decision making. Woohoo! That sucks. But no, it's part of life. So, and they were just saying power, freedom of choice. Messed it up twice. And then I'll look at the white for a new fresh start, like purity, there's a lot of white light right there too, talking about our connection to source, and not just one source, many sources of faith and power and whatever else these gods and goddesses and um, spirit guides represent, gurus, everything in there. Jesus. I don't know all their names, but oh, I love looking at that. Anywho, so yay, we're gonna look forward to some decisions. But it's always about potential growth too. So maybe our decision making abilities are going to be up leveled, because they talked about eclipse energy. And so maybe you're not a good decision maker. Maybe, you've been kind of out of whack in the base chakra and your root chakra. And so you don't know, but I'm feeling that that's the energy of this card, is that you will know soon. You'll be able to make, confident and conscious decisions without regret or without worry or shame or anything. You'll be able to speak, your authenticity, your truth, and in that your decisions will be clear and concise and respected by not just you, but the people that may have to hear your decision or are involved in your decision making. So, woohoo. And it is in alignment with the base chakra card. So that is awesome. I would definitely recommend taking a big deep breath right now, all the way down. Make sure you feel it and connect with that, knowing that your inner compass is going to be calibrated. All right. Leaving. Oh, we got more roses. I think that's great too, because it looks like it's in line with those feminine vibes too. So remember, we're talking about walking away from stuff, and there's stuff that Pluto's got coming up that we're resistant to change. And so we're going to be leaving that behind. And I see, we got the black butterfly and got a little red on it. So it's not that this butterfly is dying, but old habits are going to die. Maybe some emotions are going to change, and it's might be good if some of those go away. So not like you're killing off your emotions. It's just you might be done finally feeling a certain way and ready to change the way you feel, change the way you think. And so I see this card representing leaving it behind, even especially since the butterfly is even below it. Like this one's on top of it. You know what you want, you know what you're thinking. This one looks like you might fall off of that, but behind it is that beautiful little rose. So that's like what's on the horizon is something beautiful. It even looks like it's sparkling. I like that. All right, last one. Spiritual growth. Okay, so what potential growth is on the horizon? Spiritual growth. Vague, but not, I feel like spirit is such a smartass sometimes. Like, I don't know. Anywho, keeps it fun. So, but look, you got all that, the pink and the orange in both those cards, and that's so beautiful. I get a lot of like warm and fuzzy vibes from that. And so self-care, self-love, a lot of confidence, a lot of things blossoming in the future within. And again, as within, so without. So, and the more connected we are with source and divinity, the more we open ourselves up to unlimited possibilities. So what a fun reading. Thank you, Spirit. And thank you for showing up and watching. I hope it resonated with you. Let me know in the comments below, and like and subscribe and share a whole bunch. See you next time. Thanks, guys.